Have you ever felt like you're doing so many things, constantly running around, but when you look back, nothing really seems to move forward? The days go by, you're busy, you work hard, but the results are faint, as if your energy is scattered everywhere with no point of focus. It's like sunlight, no matter how strong it is, it can only warm the surface. But when focused through a magnifying glass, it becomes powerful enough to burn a piece of paper. Humans are the same way. When you channel all your mind, energy, and willpower into a single goal, that power becomes extraordinary. I've seen many intelligent and hardworking people who spend their entire lives circling around small results because they never truly focus. They chase 10 directions at once, and as a result, never reach the end of any of them. Focus is not about doing more, but doing it right. It's not about moving faster, but moving in the right direction. I call it the power of the laser beam, a single stream of energy so strong it can cut through steel simply because it isn't scattered. And if you learn to focus like that laser, you'll realize this. Just one right thing done deeply can change your entire life. In today's video, I'll share with you 7 principles to unlock the power of focus so you can do less but achieve more. And you should stay until the end, because principle number 7 is the key that can transform the way you work, live, and pursue your dreams every day. Principle 1, the magnifying glass. Converge your energy on a single point. I want you to imagine a boy sitting in the yard, holding a magnifying glass, catching the sunlight. At first, he just sees the light shining through. It looks beautiful. But then he moves the magnifying glass slowly, carefully, until a tiny bright spot appears on the paper. And just a few seconds later, the paper begins to smoke. The sunlight hasn't changed. Only the focus made it strong enough to burn. Our lives work the same way. Many people have energy, talent, and ambition, but they let it scatter everywhere. A bit for work, a bit for social media, a bit for meaningless things, and only a few fragments left for what truly matters. They're like the sun shining everywhere, but never burning anything. I used to be like that. When I was young, I worked 3 jobs at once. I thought, doing more will make me rich faster. But then I realized I was just running in circles. Everything was half done, every day exhausting. One day, my mentor said, "Jim, if you channel all your energy into one right thing, you'll move forward 10 times faster." That sentence changed the entire direction of my life. I stopped and thought deeply. If I could only choose one thing to pour all my heart into, what would it be? And when I found that one point, I worked with the focus of a magnifying glass. No more jumping from task to task. No more scattered thoughts. I learned to burn instead of just shine. You see, success doesn't come from doing more than others. It comes from focusing enough to do the most important thing better than anything else. Just like an Olympic athlete, they don't train for every sport. They choose one and master it. In today's world, you live surrounded by thousands of beams of light notifications, emails, news, videos, and countless things pulling your attention. Each little click cuts away a piece of your energy for the day. It's no wonder most of us are busy but not getting any further. Remember this. Energy only has power when it's focused. If you feel scattered, stop and ask yourself, what is my truly most important goal? Am I burning my energy for something or just letting it scatter everywhere? When you know what's truly worth focusing on, everything else becomes clear. The small things will naturally fall away. Temptations will lose their pull. And you'll find yourself stronger, sharper, and more directed than ever before. Focus isn't just a skill, it's a lifestyle. It's the art of saying no to everything that doesn't bring you closer to your goal. And when you dare to say no enough times, you'll see your life begin to ignite, not because you have more energy, but because you've learned to channel it in the right place. So become your own magnifying glass. Don't let your energy scatter everywhere. Gather it so that one day you don't just shine, you truly burn for your goal. Principle 2, being busy doesn't mean being effective. I once knew a young man named David. Every time I met him, he would always say, "I'm so busy, Jim. My schedule's packed all week. I'm working harder than ever." But a few months later, when I asked him about his results, David gave an awkward smile. "It's strange, I'm doing more, but nothing seems to change." I looked at him and said, "David, movement doesn't always mean progress. You can run really fast, but if you're going in the wrong direction, you're only getting farther from your goal." That sentence made him go silent, and perhaps it'll make you pause and think too. Today, so many people are like David, busy, always on, always doing something. Yet when they look back, nothing truly significant has happened. They live in the loop of being busy to survive, not busy to grow. Unquote. I call that the illusion of productivity, a disease that makes us feel like we're moving forward, when in reality, we're just spinning in circles. You see, modern society glorifies busyness. If you say, I'm free, people think you're lazy. But if you say, I'm busy, they respect you. And so we fall into that trap, working endlessly, but never taking time to think about why we're doing what we're doing. Don't play the game of the busy people. Play the game of the effective ones. What's the difference? Busy people always ask, what else do I need to do? Effective people always ask, what's worth doing? A day has 24 hours. Everyone has the same amount of time, but only those who choose the right things make a difference. I remember the moment I shifted from being busy to being effective. Before, I tried to do everything, said yes to everyone, took every opportunity, jumped into every project. The result, exhausted, burned out, but not progressing. Until I learned one simple thing. Saying no is a survival skill. When I started saying no to things that didn't align, my energy increased. I had time to think, plan, and focus on what truly mattered. When I stopped running, I finally started moving forward. Success doesn't come from speed, it comes from the right direction. A ship sailing very fast in the wrong direction only reaches failure faster. Today, you'll see countless people online boasting about being busy building their future. But if they don't know what they're building, that busyness is just a way to delay facing the truth. Ask yourself, am I truly moving forward or just spinning in circles? Do the things I do today bring me closer to my bigger goal? Or am I just trying to feel useful to cover up an emptiness inside? Those questions are uncomfortable but necessary. Because only when you're honest with yourself can real change begin. And if you want to know the secret of truly successful people, they don't do more than you. They choose better than you. They choose more carefully. They focus more deeply. And because of that, every step they take has meaning. I want you to remember this. Busy people may win today, but focused people will win for life. Principle 3, the 90-minute focus, the deep work zone. Here's something very few people realize. The difference between average people and exceptional ones isn't in how long they work, it's in how deeply they focus during the time they work. Most people are busy all day, working 8-10 hours, but their minds are constantly fragmented by hundreds of notifications, messages, emails, calls, and the endless pings from social media. Meanwhile, those who create extraordinary results, they don't need more time. They only need 90 minutes of absolute focus. I call it the deep work zone, the place where you and your work become one. No distractions, no interruptions, no mental noise. During those 90 minutes, you don't just work, you immerse yourself. Like a musician melting into the melody, a writer lost in words, or an athlete forgetting the world while performing. Science shows that the human brain takes about 20-30 minutes to enter a flow state where creativity, productivity, and focus reach their peak. And if you keep getting interrupted every 10 minutes, you'll never reach that zone. I remember once working with a young entrepreneur, a man full of ambition. He asked me, Jim, how can I perform at a higher level every day? I said, start by giving yourself 90 minutes every morning, no phone, no notifications, no email, just you and your most important goal for the day. A month later, he came back and said, Jim, just those 90 minutes, I feel like I've done more than an entire day's work. That's the power of intentional focus. When you give yourself the time and space to go deep, you allow yourself to enter your highest creative state where only you, your work, and real value exist. You don't need to work 10 hours a day. You only need 2 to 3 deep 90-minute blocks where you don't multitask, don't let your mind wander, and pour your full self into one goal. Remember, when you try to do everything at once, you end up doing nothing well. Quote, so how do you create your 90-minute focus zone? 1. Choose your golden time of day. For many, it's the morning when the mind is clearest. For others, it may be late at night. Choose the time when your energy peaks. 2. Eliminate all distractions. Put your phone on silent. Turn off social media. Close your email. Don't let the world enter your space. 3. Set a clear goal for those 90 minutes. Just one task. Not a list. For example, write your proposal, finish a book chapter, or prepare your presentation. 4. Set a 90-minute countdown timer. When you begin, treat it as a sacred appointment with yourself. No one is allowed to interrupt. And when you finish, you'll experience something magical. Not only will you have completed the work, you'll feel deeper, more confident, and free. Because for the first time, you're no longer controlled by the world, you control your own world. If you keep this habit every day, in just 1 month, you'll notice your productivity doubling. Not because you're doing more, but because you're more present. If these lessons truly resonate with you, hit subscribe to continue this journey with me, where we'll keep exploring the principles that help you move further every single day. And don't forget, in the next part, I'll share with you one thing, the most important thing each day, the principle that can transform the way you work, make decisions, and pursue success. Because sometimes your whole life only needs one right thing. Principle 4, one thing, the most important thing each day. There's a truth that many people don't want to face. It's not that they don't do enough, it's that they do too many unnecessary things. We often wake up with an endless list. Check emails, reply to messages, update social media, work, attend meetings, handle countless small tasks. And by the end of the day, we're tired, busy, yet we don't feel like we've really moved forward. Don't let small things steal the time meant for big things. I remember once, during a seminar, a middle-aged man asked me, "Jim, how can I take control of my life? Every day I try to do everything, but nothing ever seems to turn out well." I asked him, "If you could only choose one thing to complete today, what would it be?" He hesitated, then replied, "I never thought of it that way." I smiled and said, "That's exactly why you always feel overwhelmed. Not because you're doing too little, but because you don't know what's truly worth doing." The one thing principle sounds simple, but it's the secret behind every lasting success. Most people who achieve great things in life, entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, scientists, share one common trait. They know exactly what matters most today, and they give all their energy to it. Just like a laser beam, it doesn't shine everywhere. It burns exactly where it's aimed. Gary Keller, author of The One Thing, once said, "Success is a series of days where you do the most important thing consistently." And Jim Rohn shared a similar philosophy. Each day, choose one meaningful task and do it with full focus and discipline. One right thing repeated daily can change your entire life. I want you to imagine this. If every morning you spend the first 90 minutes on one single thing, the thing that can create the biggest impact on your future, then after 30 days, your life will be completely different. You'll see visible progress. You'll feel the energy of clarity, and you'll be amazed at how you're doing less but achieving more. Why? Because instead of dividing your attention among 10 things, you're channeling all your energy in one direction. Ask yourself each morning, if I could only accomplish one thing today, what would make this day truly worthwhile? That's your one thing. It could be completing a key project. It could be calling an important client, or simply spending quality time with someone you love, if that aligns with your true values. The point is, choose it, then commit to it. Don't let the world choose for you. Don't let emails, notifications, or urgent tasks pull you away from what's truly important. Here's what I've learned after many years. Life doesn't reward those who do the most, but those who choose the best. If you focus each day on one truly valuable thing, just one, you'll be amazed at the power of accumulation. Because 365 one things done right don't just change a year, they can reshape your entire life. Before moving on, I want you to pause and reflect. If you could only choose one thing to focus on today, what would bring you closer to the life you want? Because in the next part, you'll learn a liberating lesson. Principle 5, cut the noise. Eliminate the 80% that doesn't matter. Take a moment and listen. Do you hear it? The world is constantly calling for your attention. Notifications, emails, messages, meetings, clips, posts, breaking news, new trends. Everything is fighting for one thing, your attention. And if you don't learn to control it, you'll lose the most precious resource of all, your mental energy. Once I asked a business friend, "Do you know why you always feel exhausted even though you're constantly working?" He said, "I think it's because I'm doing too many things." I looked at him and said, "No, the problem isn't that you do too much, it's that you let too many things into your mind. Every little ding, every time you check your phone, every random article you click, you're trading away a piece of your focus and energy. If you don't know what you want, others will easily use you to get what they want. And it's true in the digital age, everything around you is designed to capture your attention. Apps, social media, ads, videos, even emails, they all share one goal: to keep you hooked as long as possible. When you live surrounded by noise, your mind can't be still. And when your mind isn't still, you can't focus, create, or grow. There's a story I love to tell. One of my students once complained that he couldn't focus. Every time he tried to read, within minutes he'd grab his phone. I asked, "How many notifications do you get in a day?" He replied, "Maybe a few hundred. I get alerts from about 10 different apps." I smiled and said, "Well, no wonder. You're not living your life, you're living in other people's notifications. If you truly want to succeed, you must cut the noise." I'm not saying to escape the world, I'm saying to filter what's worthy of entering your mind. Here are the 3 steps I often share with my students. 1, identify the 20% that creates 80% of your results. Look at your day, what truly moves you closer to your goals. Which work, skill, relationship, or habit brings real value. Keep those, cut the rest. 2, create at least 1 hour of quiet zone each day. No phone, no noisy, no calls. This is your time to reconnect with yourself. When your mind settles, your inner wisdom can finally speak. 3, build a focus fence. Set a rule. When you're working, no one, not even friends or social media, is allowed to interrupt. Treat your focus as sacred territory. Success doesn't come from adding more, but from removing more. Not from more noise, but from creating more silence. Because in silence, you can finally hear your true voice. Steve Jobs once said, "Clarity doesn't come from adding more, but from removing the unnecessary." Quote, "Don't let the urgent make you forget the important." So today, I want you to try one thing. Look at your schedule and cross out 3 tasks that bring no real value. Just 3. You'll be surprised how much more energy you have, how much clearer your mind feels, and how much stronger your focus becomes. Before we move to the next part, I want to ask you this. If you had to remove one thing that's taking too much of your attention, what would it be? Because in the next section, you'll discover how to turn focus into a solid, lasting habit every single day. Principle 6, train your focus muscle. Start with small things. Focus isn't a gift you're born with. It's a muscle. And like every other muscle, it only gets stronger when you train it every day. So many people complain, "I can't focus." But the truth is, they've never trained their ability to focus. You can't expect strong biceps if you've never lifted weights. And you can't have a strong mind if you've never trained it. I once met a young man bursting with ideas, but never finishing anything. He told me, "Jim, I get distracted so easily. I read a few pages, and then I pick up my phone." I smiled and replied, "Then start by reading 10 pages without touching your phone. Just 10 pages. Do it every day." He was surprised. "Only 10 pages? I said, "Exactly. Start small, but be consistent. Because strength doesn't come from a burst, it comes from persistence." 3 months later, he came back. He said, "Now I can read 50 pages without checking my phone. I feel like I'm in control of my mind." I smiled and said, "You've trained your focus muscle." Focus doesn't arrive in a day. It comes from small actions, repeated a little bit every day. Just like going to the gym at first, you can only lift a few kilos. But if you stick with it, bit by bit, you'll become stronger than ever. And here's how you can start training your focus muscle today. 1, choose one small task to do in silence each day. Read 10 pages, write a short paragraph, learn one skill, or simply meditate for 5 minutes. The goal isn't to do more, but to do it completely. 2, set a time limit. For example, 25 minutes without interruption. Set a timer, start and commit. For these 25 minutes, I will do just one thing. Then rest for 5 minutes and continue. You're training your brain to understand, I can work deeply without distraction. 3, gradually increase the difficulty. After a week, move up to 40 minutes. After a month, you can do a 90-minute deep work block like I shared earlier. Don't force yourself to peak from the start. Let strength form naturally, layer by layer through discipline. You'll notice something interesting. As your ability to focus increases, everything else in your life changes too. You listen better, you work more deeply, and even love more fully because you are truly present. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And focus is the rope that ties you tightly to that bridge. Without discipline, you'll be blown away by life's winds. But when your focus is strong enough, you become like a rock, unshakable. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect environment. Start training right now with small actions. As long as you do it every day, you'll feel yourself growing stronger bit by bit. And like a muscle, if you stop training, it will weaken. But if you persist, it will become an unbreakable strength. Ask yourself today, what small action will I use to train my focus muscle today? Principle 7, the power of simplicity, less but deeper. There's a paradox in our times. We have more tools than ever, yet we feel busier than ever. We have thousands of choices, yet we're less happy. Why? Because the more we have, the more scattered our minds become. And only when you learn the art of simplicity do you truly reach the depth of effectiveness and peace. I remember once, during a seminar, someone asked me, "Jim, how can you do so many things teaching, business, speaking, and still stay clear-headed?" I answered, "I don't do many things. I just do fewer things right." The crowd fell silent. And I continued, "When you know what truly matters, you stop chasing what doesn't. Don't let a complicated life steal the joy in simple things. Success doesn't come from adding more, but from subtracting. Like a sculptor, he doesn't create a statue by adding clay, but by chipping away the excess until only the essence remains. Life is the same. You don't need more tasks, more plans, or more pressure. You need less noise, less clutter, fewer wants. So that what remains is pure, clear, and powerful, like a laser converging from millions of scattered beams." I once knew a very successful man, but he was always tense. While talking, his phone would ring constantly. Whenever someone messaged him, he responded immediately, afraid to miss something important. One day, he sat with me and said, "Jim, I have everything, but I don't feel at peace." Quo. I replied, "Your problem isn't that you lack. It's that you have too much. You don't need more, you just need less." And that's what very few people understand. Simplicity doesn't mean poverty. Simplicity means focusing on what's most valuable. An effective life isn't one stuffed with activities, but one full of meaning in each activity. Look at the most successful people. They don't chase every opportunity. They choose one direction, one value, one principle, and dig deep. They understand that doing one thing really well is worth 100 times more than doing 10 things superficially. If you want to focus, start by simplifying your life. Clear your workspace. Remove unnecessary apps. Reduce the number of people you feel you must please. And most importantly, let go of the urge to do everything at once. When you do that, you'll feel like you can finally breathe after years of living in chaos. Your mind gets lighter, your focus grows stronger, and you start to see the path clearly ahead. Elegance doesn't come from complexity, but from simplicity executed beautifully. And that is the key to living fully in this noisy world. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, remember this: you don't need more. You just need less of what no longer serves your path. Simplicity isn't just a lifestyle, it's the strategy of the wise. Action question. Today, what can you eliminate? A habit, a task, or a worry to live lighter and more focused? And if this video truly resonates with you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone caught in the whirlwind of complexity. Let's learn together to do less, but go deeper and live truer, because success doesn't come from doing everything, but from doing the most important thing excellently. Finally, remember this, my friend. Life doesn't reward those who do the most, but those who focus the best. You don't need to run faster than anyone, you just need to choose the right direction and never take your eyes off the goal. Like a laser, it isn't stronger than sunlight. The difference is, it knows how to converge. And when your mind learns to converge like that, you become an unstoppable source of energy. Success doesn't come by accident, but from disciplined intention. Focus is the lamp that lights the way in the dark, the compass in the storm, and the bridge between dream and achievement. On this journey, you've learned how to concentrate your energy like a magnifying glass. That being busy is not being effective. How to create a 90-minute deep work zone. How to focus on one right thing each day. How to cut the noise and train your focus muscle. And finally, how to live simply to go deeper and go farther. These may seem small, but if you truly practice them daily, They'll become laser power that helps you pierce through every limit. Ask yourself, what am I focusing on? And is it truly worthy of my whole life? If this question makes you think, then perhaps it's time to pause, reflect, and choose again what's truly most important. If you feel this video brought you value, please like, subscribe, and share it with those who need to regain focus in this chaotic world. Because we don't just learn to succeed, we learn to live more deeply and meaningfully. And hear me, when you master one day, you can master your whole life. See you in the next video where we continue the journey to becoming the best version of ourselves.